Hey guys, how's it going? It is Dread Scoper here, and what this video is just going to be is me talking, not really ranting, but more just talking about things that 2K can improve on because, um, granted, I think that 2K has done a lot of crappy stuff, but I hope they don't mean to do crappy things. I hope they're trying to at least help us. Um, so I think what it would be nice to do is literally just, give them some advice and hopefully, let them know, hey, this is what the community wants, and just let them know what we want, and hopefully they give it to us. I don't understand. There's a lot of stuff I feel like they haven't given to the community, and I know a lot of it you can't just give them, but there's also some things where I think you could make things better, and I just think that they really don't do a great job at listening to people. My goal for this is hopefully give you guys ideas to possibly post on their forums or possibly post on whatever, or at least, generate discussion and basically overall just make it so that, 2K ends up hearing, our voices and eventually gets to the point where they do give us what we want. And that would be pretty cool. So, just right off the bat, I've had this problem with, I think, 2K and MLB I had this problem with, but basically, what ends up happening is I've already run out of content to do, and this game's been out now for, I think it's been out for probably like a month, maybe two, and I've already run out of stuff to do. Like, I've already completed Domination, um, Historic and Normal. I have already completed the weekly challenges, so I have to wait another week for that. And basically, I mean, online can be fun to play on if, the community was, fun to play with and stuff, but overall, I've already really run out of content to do, especially offline, because granted, online is fun sometimes if you get paired up against someone that's also um, trying to take the game seriously. But a lot of the times you get paired up with these kids that, they're 12 years old, and you can't blame them because they're kids, and we probably would have done the same thing. All they want to do is shoot these fadeaway threes with Steph Curry, and, that's how the game is nowadays. But it's not fun for, I guess, our generation, or my generation. I'm 20 years old, so if that gives you an idea of, I was a 90s kid, so I think I was right on the border of, you know, I grew up watching kind of Kevin Garnett and Kobe Bryant play, and these guys are, watching Steph Curry and, these kind of guys play, and I think, the way that Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett would play, um, it was so much fun to watch them, and I'm starting to see now that I'm really not too interested in watching Steph Curry play. I've seen him play for, I saw him play back when, he started becoming this huge thing, and now it's like, okay, yeah, you're a very skilled player, obviously, and you can hit a lot of threes, but it's no longer this thing where I enjoy watching it because he's just it's just not fun to watch anymore. And I feel like that's where, 2K is actually heading. So it's becoming not as much fun anymore to even watch or play because it's just not very interactive. So I won't go on too much of a rant. But basically, the main point is lack of content. Basically, if they could give us possibly another mode to do, the mode could be something relatively simple. You could do something where you could do domination again, just to get more contracts, and because, or just to get, not even to get players, but I mean, just to redo domination after you complete it, even if they raise the difficulty a little bit. Or add another mode where, I can consistently keep playing, because I think Madden has done a great job. If they do something what Madden has done, where they literally give you like 500 something games to play. And if you complete 500 something games, then that's pretty insane. That's a lot of time you've spent on this game. And if you complete that and all the other challenges they give you, then maybe you take a break from the game. But I think overall, though, that there's just not much to do. You play, what was it? You play 66 games, and that's a good amount of games. That's not bad. That's a good amount of time that I've spent playing this game. I've played 66 games. That's great. Um, but then at the same time, 66 games only lasts like that, not very long. You know, you can knock off these games in about 30 minutes if you do them, right and correct. Um, I think they're 5-minute quarters, and there's obviously 4 quarters, that's 20 minutes, but there's also timeouts and a whole bunch of other stuff. So 30 minutes is, I mean, all I'm saying is give us another mode to do, or give us something else. Don't just say, okay, here's domination, that's good enough, that's 66 games. That lasted 2 months, and I didn't even play this game that much compared to probably other people who probably did it within like the first week or two. I mean, so, you kind of sit here, and I'm at a point now where the only thing I can do is play online. And basically, it's great to play online sometimes, but I also would like to play, offline, because of the fact that people online, it's just not fun to play against anymore. So more offline content. Now, online gameplay, I already went on a rant about this, and I want to stay away from ranting in this video because I want to give them some, pointers on some stuff they can do. Hopefully what they could do is lower the percentage of shots that people make. People don't make, these ridiculous percents of shots. They don't make all these fadeaway shots. They miss them too. Media ESPN doesn't show you that, but Steph Curry misses more than half of his three-point shots. So it's not realistic, and it's not very interactive. And I also hope, so basically what I would say from this point, lower the percent of shots that they take. If I had to do another thing, the on-ball defenders have to be. I have some of my defenders here. Let me show you some of my team, just to get you an idea. Perimeter defense here on David Thompson is an A-. Penny Hardaway is a B-, and Sean Marion is an A. Okay, so just starting wise, a lot of the time I see these guys literally just leaving people wide open. And they have a defense, so there's no reason for, it's not even like they do a good move or anything. It's literally just the offensive player will walk to the three-point line, and my guy will just run off of them for no reason. So it's very frustrating when you can't control all 5 guys at once. I would say that make it so that the defenders aren't leaving these guys wide open all the time, because there's nothing. If I'm playing on ball, which I regularly do, I can't control the off ball guys, and if Sean Marion runs away from his defender or his guy that's shooting for 5 seconds, it's just very frustrating when you play 20 seconds of great defense, but then all of a sudden Penny Hardaway decides, I'm going to leave Steph Curry open for about 2 seconds because the game just doesn't allow him. I think that there's a lot of dead space. There's a lot of, and what I mean by that's probably not the best word, but Steph Curry will run. If this is Penny Hardaway and this is Steph Curry will run this way, and then it takes 3 seconds for Penny Hardaway to realize that Steph Curry's over there, and then he casually walks over there. And it's kind of just that doesn't happen in real life. That's not realistic. I honestly think that the off-ball defenders, should regularly be extremely close. If you watch an NBA game, they are normally close, or at least in contesting range. So at least allow the defenders to be at least more in contesting range. I'm sure that's something the 2K developers could do. I'm sure it's not that hard. Or if it is hard, then I'm sorry it's hard, and hopefully you guys work on that. But make it so that, because Steph Curry shouldn't just be able to walk away from his defender and catch the ball and shoot. That's not basketball. That's not fun for anyone. That's too simple. If they want to set off-ball screens and then they set off-ball screens, 2 off-ball screens against Penny Hardaway, and Steph Curry gets open and he shoots a fadeaway 3 and it goes in, then that's okay, because that happens. But I don't like the fact that they can just casually walk away and nothing. There's no picks or screens or anything or any moves. It's just he casually just walks away, and it's frustrating when it's off ball. So hopefully they can change that to where you actually need to like run plays, run these, start running plays and start doing all these things so that, you can't just casually get lucky that your guy isn't getting defended at a certain moment. So anyways, that's my point online. That's my main point online, really. Other than that, I mean, besides the fact that people, shoot all these random shots, 2K can't do anything about the 13-year-old kids that are shooting with Steph Curry. 2K can't do that. They can't change the way they play. I understand that, but make it a little bit more realistic. And for the people that want to play, I mean, as you see right now, Golden State is not this ridiculous team you thought they were going to be at the beginning. Just because they have great offense, they have no depth. They no longer have a lot of the key defenders that they had. So the fact that people can now just go out and keep shooting threes in this game shouldn't really be a realistic thing anymore. So hopefully they can fix the defending and the percentage of shots that go in, because I think it's definitely a thing that's it's not fun to play against, and it's not fun to play even if you're making ridiculous shots. It's still like, okay, that shot shouldn't have went in. There's been plenty of times where I take a shot and it's like, oh, that shot really shouldn't have went in. So, maybe, they got to do something about that, because it's like, okay, that shot shouldn't have went in, so why did it? It's not fun. I take a fadeaway three with Penny Hardaway at the last second and it goes in. It's like, come on, these shots go in a little too consistently. Make it more realistic. Basically, the contracts are getting to me at this point. It's getting to the point now where contracts are kind of taking over. They're too big of a thing. And what I mean by that is, I'm sorry, it got to the point where I wasn't actually playing with the team I wanted to play with. As you can see here on my bench, I would play with these guys until I got to the point where their contract would just run out, and, there was no reason for me to keep them. Like this Robert Packard, there's no reason for me to keep him. Why would I play with him? Because he's already out of contracts, and I would rather use my contracts on someone else. So I think that the contracts are too big of a thing. I think something that you could do with the contracts is when you're playing domination mode, when you play domination, if you get all 3 stars against the team, you'll get a 3 contract pack from the first one. You get a 4 from the second one and a 5 from the third one. So what I would say is you should probably increase the amount of contracts that those are. Make it something like 5, 8, 10 or something. The first one's 5 contracts, the second one's 8 contracts, the next one's 10 contracts. I think that would, because it gets to the point where you have, how many people? You have 13 people, I'm pretty sure, on your team? Yeah, you got 13 people on your team, okay? If you're getting 5, so that's 12 contracts. You're only actually getting 12 contracts. You're actually losing contracts by playing the game. And that's really disappointing because, I don't want to have to go to the auction house and just keep buying contracts. That's not what I want to do. I want it to be something, I would suggest just getting rid of contracts. There's no reason to really have them anymore. It used to be kind of fun to play, you'd have contracts and you can sign someone to a contract, but it's just, the contracts are such a big part of 2K now that it's really not fun. It's like they've made it this huge thing where it's like you really have to worry about contracts when you're playing, and it's just it almost takes away from the gameplay. So I would tell them either increase the amount of contracts you get to 10, 8, and 5, because I think what that would do, or 6, 8, and 10, 6, 8, and 10, because you just multiply the contracts you would get by 2. That would make it so you would actually get a total of 24 contracts, and you would be able to play with whatever players you wanted to, and you'd have no problem with the contracts. Or maybe 6, 8, and 10 is too big. Maybe you do something like 4, 6, and 8, or maybe just 4, 5, and 6, because that gives you 15 contracts. So at least you have a net of 2 contracts if you complete a game. So that's my view on the contracts part. You know, either increase the contracts, get rid of them and completely, because really, if you get rid of contracts, there's no reason to even have them at this point. There's no reason to, and it's just a little annoying. So, anyways, that's basically that for those are the main points I have. So, just add more offline content. Online, make it more realistic. I still feel like it's not realistic. Packs. I mean, the thing about packs is I think they've done a pretty decent job. Granted, they're very expensive, but they're not going to change the prices because of a video like this. They're extremely expensive, and there's been times where I just don't even buy the contracts. I just don't even... There's no need for me to even, like, buy them because... Or the packs, because they're just not worth it. They don't give anything. They don't give much. Even the players... There's a new pack that's come out today. It's the Magic and Clippers. The best players you can get is a Sapphire Steve Francis and an Emerald Dominique Wilkins. But the cards themselves really aren't that great. It's an Emerald and a Ruby, so they're not great, and they're just not they're not worth it. As you can see here, 10 of them, which isn't going to get you one. You would realistically need to buy 21 and hope that you can get it. This is something ridiculous. This is like what? I think that might be $50 to just buy this. And that's so much money, and it's just like, 2K, are you trying to bankrupt me? And I say that in a joking way, but I also say that in a serious way, because it's $50 for in-game stuff. The game itself costs $60. So you're valuing this pack at almost the same price as the actual game itself. Everything inside the game. So this pack itself is actually worth more than the game itself. And I hope people literally think about that and actually realize how stupid that sounds. The in-game stuff that you can buy in-game actually costs more than the game itself. And I think it needs to be like a huge wake-up call for 2K. Even if they just change it, they're not going to change it, so I'm not going to spend more time on it. Lineups really quickly. I like how they should. I like how you can do this, obviously. But they should also allow you to do. I don't believe they give you an option to do your bench. The problem what happens is I play with Quentin Richardson at the small forward, and realistically he's not a small forward, so he might not be put at small forward sometimes, and it's very annoying when this happens. So if they were to allow you to at least establish your bench, so you don't have to do it while you're waiting to join the game, that would be cool. But other than that, no problem with this stuff. The collections, I really like the collections. I think they're really cool. But the one problem I do have with collections is I think that this is going to be... It makes it so that literally... John Wall literally is going for like 1,000 coins right now. I just checked him. He's literally going for 1,000 coins. Okay? And now I can go down to this guy and... Okay, this is a bad example, but some of these bronze players are literally going for 4,000 coins. They're literally going for 4 times as much as an emerald card. So I might not be able to find any good examples there, but anyways, that's that. So I don't know how you would fix that, but they probably won't be able to. Now the auction house. There's been cases of people getting banned for just buying cards in the auction house. For just flipping cards, which I think is very normal. I haven't done that. But yeah, I don't know why they would do that. Another thing, there's some players online that you literally just can't play with. As people might have seen, I actually had this card. I actually had Bill Lambier. Please tell me he's up right now. Alright, I had this Galandier card, and basically I got rid of it. The reason is because he can't. His shot is so bad. It's so quick. It's so like random that when I was playing online with him, he can't shoot. I guess my thing would be the thing at the bottom of the screen or the bottom of the player when he's shooting. Some of these guys, it's so quick that it goes, and online it just makes it 1,000 times worse because of the consistent lag you have to deal with. But just make it so that some of these guys aren't absolute trash. He has like a B+3 or something. I don't know where he is, but he's not here because someone, I don't know. But he had like a B+3, and I was like really excited to start using him because he was like my ideal center, and I was so happy to get him. But then you shoot with him. I shot one time, and literally it was the quickest thing in the world, and it was just so stupid. And I would just say make the releases. You don't have to make it the exact same thing as everybody else's. Don't make them all the same, but make them so that they're at least like a little like they need to still be useful. Like they can't just like be these really quick things online because I actually think it was impossible to get a green release of him online because in order for you have to hold it down so that the computer knows that you're trying to shoot. But in order for you to hold it down, it basically already makes it late. And if you want to tap it really quickly, it thinks you're pump faking. So it was really stupid. And there are just some cards that you just can't play online with. And I don't know. So anyways, hopefully 2K like sees this or something, and something happens, and I don't know. But hopefully, something happens where 2K realizes that it's kind of like a little annoying where I'm sitting here and I don't have anything to do, and I'm just waiting for more stuff to happen. These weekly challenges are the only stuff you look forward to, and they don't give rewards, and it's a huge waste of contracts, and it's really annoying. They just like this. I don't know. So, anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully 2K sees this and maybe they, do something about it. Maybe. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. See ya.